Hi, so this is the fourth of your six-part series, and it's going to be about health and supplements for your dog. So I'm sitting outside today, it's beautiful, and I'm with Bono. You'll probably hear him sort of moving around. So obviously as a vegan, I'm going to be confirming, and through science, that dogs are omnivores and can therefore be fed a vegan diet, and more importantly, they can also flourish on them. So I'm going to provide an overview of this subject matter. So while dogs can digest plants, their bodies require more proteins, and for this reason, transitioning a dog to a vegan diet can deprive them of collagen, elastin, and keratin proteins that are essential for a dog's skin, muscles, and joints. And importantly, with regards to an important diet, I was informed after much research, because as many of you know, Bono, my vegan dog, I was informed that you can actually replace meat or chicken, because I know that many pet owners will try and reduce their meat intake by switching to fish and chicken. However, you don't need to. You can obtain these nutrients from soybean and seaweed sources. Now, in addition, there's evidence that demonstrates that vegan diets might actually offer benefits to dogs who suffer from various health problems. I've certainly experienced that, because I've had dogs, or my parents have had dogs since I was a child, and all of them suffered, some skin, joint, health condition, despite being given the best foods, including tripe, etc. And So the important thing is, transitioning your dog to a vegan diet, you need to be aware of two amino acids a lot of people talk about, and those are taurine and L-carnitine. And both of those, and this is really important to understand, can actually be obtained and supplemented through a vegan diet. So taurine is not an essential nutrient. In other words, the body can make its own taurine. However, cats are not able to make taurine, and that's, of course, when you hear that cats cannot be vegan, but you can supplement it, and of course nobody talks about that. So taurine's made from cysteine. It's a protein amino acid, and you can get the requisite amount, but as I say, there are supplements specifically for taurine and L-carnitine that can be obtained specifically to supplement in your pet's food. And more importantly, what I found extraordinary was that taurine is actually supplemented in the dog meat products, so it's not being obtained naturally. So carnitine's non-essential amino acids. It's found primarily in animal products, but once again can be easily supplemented in vegan dog foods. And there are specially formulated synthetic or plant-based products containing those two amino acids. Now, the other thing is, I get asked a lot about the hypoallergenic diets. I was quite dismayed to learn that even though I was told that they were vegan diets, they're not, because a respected vet has also informed me that chicken fat's added into the diet, and obviously being a strict vegan, I would not purchase hypoallergenic diets for my dog. Many of you know that the reason for myself being an ethical vegan, but my dog Bono being a vegan, it was just very simply that I couldn't love my dog, my pet, and then feed him another more sentient being. It just didn't make sense to me. Particularly, I always say, if you can put a man on the moon, but you can't sort of advance or evolve, then something's not quite right. And more importantly, much of the pet food industry is a byproduct of the human meat industry, and it's not healthy. It's a byproduct. And of course, I don't know whether many of you know that the longest living vegan dog, Bramble, actually lived to the age of 25 human years, and that's extraordinary. He was on a vegan diet, and that's 175 years in human years. Now, my 12-year-old Springer Spaniel does have joint problems because of his arthritis, and it's brought mainly because of age. And I've questioned the vet, because I was concerned that perhaps it was a vegan diet. There might be a supplement issue, and he's confirmed that absolutely not. It's likely that it's genetics, the breed, Springer Spaniel's propensity to arthritis, and also, if a puppy's very young and you exercise it a lot, that can impact the joints and raise issues as he grows. So there's a host of reasons, but certainly not because of the vegan diet. So the important thing is providing supplements of glucosamine, which I do. It's recommended by vets. It's an amino acid, amino sugar. It's found naturally in the fluids around the joints, and it helps build cartilage. Usually it's provided from the shells of shellfish. However, again, as a vegan, I use ones that are synthetic, that is produced in laboratories. The other thing I want you to know is just to be aware of vitamins. There's vitamin A, vitamin B. B is quite important, particularly as in vegan dogs, because you need to ensure that they're getting, B12. And again, it can be obtained from non-animal origins. Vitamin C is important for a dog, D, E, K, and choline. Now, of course, we recognize a lot of these vitamins as being human supplements. However, dogs need these vitamins, but I really caution you that do actually get advice, because you don't want to overdose or provide too much of the vitamin, particularly because many sort of dog foods, including vegan foods, are supplemented. They do recommend that actually when you're giving your dog your food, vegan food, at that point, it might be sensible to supplement, but do get advice and you do need to do your research. So vitamin A, of course, we all know it comes from carrots. Now, it's an important one for immune and cell function. And the B vitamins, as I say, really important for your dogs, for metabolism, facilitating enzyme action, etc. Their red blood cells, folic acid. Vitamin C is absolutely extraordinary to find out that similarly in dogs, it sort of stops free radicals that can cause inflammation and cognitive aging in dogs. D is important again for bone growth for dogs, and E because of the dog's defenses, and also cell function and fat metabolism. And K, just like humans, the dog's ability to, the blood's ability to clot. And choline supports healthy brain and liver function, and sometimes is used by vets as a treatment plan for pets with epilepsy. Now, I do provide my dog with supplements because as a vegan, and when I'm giving him vegan commercial food, it's mixed with my home cooked food. So I just will do it, but quite intuitively, and I'm quite sensible, and I do all the requisite sort of research. Now, obviously, dog food is highly regulated, and so they will produce the amount of vitamins and the type of food depending on whether it's a puppy, a young dog, adult, or a senior or large breed. So be very, very careful as to how and what you do supplement, and certainly do seek the vet's advice on that, and definitely do be very, very cautious, and I can't stress this enough, that you don't over provide on vitamins. Now, along with vitamins, there's also digestive supplements for dogs, and I was amazed to find out that there's actually probiotics for dogs. I'd always assumed that, the dog's stomach is highly acidic, but I've been advised by vets to add in a tablespoon of pumpkin or sweet potatoes or bananas to my dog's food. Unfortunately, mine used to love bananas and apples, but has gone through a complete sort of change and won't even touch food if it's got a scent of banana or apples in it. So just like humans, animals' tastes change as well. So the more I delved into the world of supplements, there were a number of times when I took my dog for a walk in the woods and I'd be stopped by the usual dog walkers, and they'd say to me, particularly as they'd known sort of Bono and slowly saw him sort of aging and walking slowly, they recommended turmeric. Unfortunately, again, although it's a fantastic superfood, Bono's not keen on turmeric, and if he even gets a whiff of the product, he won't eat his food. But turmeric is being called an excellent supplement and for preventing allergies, and it's a superfood, and it's anti-inflammatory and has antibacterial properties. So it's something definitely to look into. And I know you can get capsules, but again, Bono's hyper sensitive and won't look into it. Now, one last thing, and certainly I experienced this a couple of weeks back. When animals suffer from bad breath and odour, and looking at supplements for that. Now, first, you do need to check in with your vet to check, that your pet's okay. So with Bono, he had a very strong smell of urea. Now, he's taking 227 milligrams of Previcox, which is an anti-inflammatory for his arthritis and his joint problems. And the side effects can be liver and kidney damage. So I took him to the vet, they did blood tests and urine tests, and luckily he was all okay. So do be aware that if there are odours, that you could check them out with the vet. And then afterwards, if everything's fine, you can have a look at, there are plenty of, supplements in the market for sort of, not quite supplements, but to address the odour problems. So omega-3 and 6 and hemp and oat oil supplements. So there's a lot out there at the moment. I hope you enjoyed this.